Hey guys, it's Phil from smilinggardener.com, and today I wanted to make a video about herb gardening for beginners. Before I get into that, if you haven't picked up the 15 vital organic gardening lessons for becoming a better organic gardener, you can do that over on the main page of smilinggardener.com. And those are just some lessons that when I was first studying organic gardening I thought were really cool, and I still think they're cool, so I put them together for you for free. So you can get those for free there. So herb gardening for beginners. What I was thinking is it'd be kind of neat to put together what I think are maybe 3 of the best herbs for beginners to start with when they're putting in a culinary herb garden. And I'm actually going to ask you for help on this because it was really difficult narrowing it down. I have, I don't know, maybe 15 to 20 varieties of herbs in my garden, and I think most of them are really pretty cool. And it was kind of tough. So what I did was I tried to, moving into the shadows here, I tried to come up with some guidelines to make the decision easier. So the first thing I thought was it'd be really good to start with perennials for people. Perennials are herbs that you can plant, plant them once, harvest from them that year, but also harvest from them on future years too. They'll keep coming back for you. So I have some annuals here, or what are annuals at least in my garden where I live, that I love. Like basil is one of my absolute favorite herbs. I have this bigger leafed basil and this smaller leaf basil. I also have a purple basil over in another bed. I have dill right here, which is an annual here, which is really nice. So those are 2 of my favorite herbs, but they're annuals, and I thought, well, let's stick with perennial herbs. That makes a lot of sense to me for beginners. I also wanted herbs that were very easy. Something like a rosemary. At least where I live, it usually has to be brought in the winter because it doesn't like that our harsh winters, and then so that's a bit of work to bring it in, and then it plants have a tougher time inside, so it can get unhealthy, especially rosemary over the winter. Then you got to bring it outside every spring, so it's a lot of work. So I thought let's stick with things that are easier. I also thought stick with things that are really useful in the kitchen. Like I have a couple things. Like I have a tarragon here, which is a pretty neat herb, but I don't find that I use it that often in the kitchen. Same with my savory, which I really do love, but I just don't find that I use it that often. So I thought, okay, let's stick with herbs that are really useful in the kitchen that we use all the time. And then last, I also wanted something that was pretty common, easy to find. I stayed away from things that you would direct seed. I went for things that it's good for a beginner to just go buy them from a garden center. So I wanted some common herbs. And so with that, I think what I'm going to do is I'll show you, just because I want to keep the video shorter, I'll show you one of them. And the other 2, you can go to if you're not already on my website, I'll put a link down below. You can go check them out on the website because I wrote some detail about them, what they're useful for. So let's see, the one here that I thought would be really useful to start with is chives. So chives are, really useful in the kitchen. You can use them raw or cooked in all kinds of things. They're very easy in the garden. Once you plant them, you can kind of forget about them and they'll keep coming back. They'll self-seed. They can take a little bit of shade. So they're really quite easy. They're not quite as medicinal as the other 2 herbs that I put on my site. Have some nice medicinal purposes. Chives are good for helping your digestion and increasing your appetite. But they're not quite as medicinal. But there is one really cool thing about them, and that is that they are apparently a pretty good insect repellent if you can get the juice out of them. I think catnip is actually better. Catnip is supposed to be really good, but chives are supposed to be okay too. So what I'm going to do is I'll set you down here. You can, you'll be kept out of my garden by my rabbit fence, and I just want to harvest a little more. I've actually already been doing a little bit of this morning, which is trying to extract some of the juice out of these chives. So I put just a little bit of water in here. I think this would work much better with a hand blender, but I just put a little water in there, and I've been doing a little bit of this. And I think I just kind of have to keep getting my spoon in there and putting them down. That's why a hand blender would work better. But what I can do now is just take this stuff, put it into a jar. There's all kinds of juice in there. And try to use that as an insect repellent. because it's getting to be mosquito season. So I'll see how that works. I know the catnip works well. Yeah, so the other two, I wrote some detail about them at smilinggardener.com. While you're there, you can pick up the 15 vital lessons for becoming a better organic gardener. And also, if you have any sort of 3 herbs that you think would be best for people to start out with, it'd be really great if you could let me know below. And that's all for now. I'll see you next week.